Okay guys, my name is Shawn Mey. We're just doing the intro to our first vlog here. We're in Mozambique Bay at the moment. As I said, we do all these tours around Africa. And that basically started was with me. I got my first South African colours when I was 14 years old. Been fishing competitive since then. Yeah, fishing on the South African side is quite difficult, as they only choose 6 guys in a team. The guys just started asking us, please man, take us out. Me being 14 years old, my clients picked me up from home and I took them out, and that's where the business grew. Yeah, crazy. They come pick me up after school, take them fishing, and then that's just where the passion grew, and the tours grew from there on. Started expanding from Mozambique and just bigger into the bigger Southern Cape, and then the whole of South Africa, and then we went to Namibia. I knew quite a lot of Namibia as we fished against Namibia for the South African side, on the competitive side of the things. So that's where we moved on to Namibia. From there on we went to Angola and then started Mozambique, and there the love just grew and the tours just exploded. Now we're quite fully booked on the program. We've got tours all over. We'll have them up for you. We'll show a bit footage of all the different tours we do. Yeah, as I said, fishing from a young age. We've got all those. I think I've got over 30 records in my competitive fishing career. I stopped fishing competitive now, as we're away on tour most of the time and we don't really have the time to fish competitively anymore. So we left the competitive side, just enjoyed the tours. Been fishing my whole life. It's more rewarding now to see a client catch a big fish than to catch it yourself. It's exciting still for me on the side to look for the fish and find the fish for the clients. That's more my side of the thing now, where you can actually walk on the beach, read the water, explain to clients why this is the best spot, and then prove to them that is the best spot on the coast. That's the fun, and leave the pain and suffering to them to really reel out the big things. Further on from that, yeah, while we're doing the intro here at Artemis Beach in Mozambique Bay, a guy across the river just went tight there with the duckbill ray. So being a fisherman, of course, we're gonna have to go check that out and just see what that is. Got no idea who he is, got no idea what bait he's using, but according to the fight it looks like a pretty decent fish. Rod went flat, took probably 200-300 meters of line out there. We're just gonna cross this river and let's go help him. Let's go see what he's got on there. Oh, there's a little river behind us called the Artemis River. It's not really tidal. They built big dams on it, so now over the spring tides the government come and they open the river mouth, let some of the water out and get some of the spring tide, the fresh water, back into the river. It's a closely controlled estuary here in Mozambique Bay. They had some issues with sewage and stuff and all the fish dying in the river. So the guys are quite protective about our rivers and the environment around the Artemis River. There is still issues with the pH in the waters and stuff, but it is getting monitored by the government. So the guys do open it now and then on the spring tide, which is a very good thing for us. Ja bra, bezig om 'n video daar te shoot, dis nie ek gaan tyd.
Ja, jy dink dat ons geloop, maar ek ging al eintlik vir blou pylies. 0.7 ou treis.
Oh yeah, that's extreme light tackle.
40 pond staal.
Was it a duckbill?
Ek dink dis 'n dakkie, ja.
Yeah. Also confirms, he says he thinks it's also a duckbill through a choco bait with a sardine cutter around it. Fish is close in. Go check it out.
Kan nie raak trek nie.
Yeah. Does look like a duckbill ray. We just saw the oh, there's the tail there, definitely a duckbill. That's it. These duckbill rays are probably the best fighting fish in the ocean. They're big rays. Normally you get a ray, they sit down on the bottom. It's not really a fun fish to catch, but these duckbill rays are one of the only rays that can shoot faster than any shark in the sea. They're extremely fast and the bonus side of them, they fight on the surface. They're clean fighters, they don't go look for rocks or anything, so you can really use light tackle and target them with the shotgun or white bait on the sandbanks. They do go onto the rocks, but once they see a rock, they'll just go over it. They'll never try and cut you off. So it's really one of the best fish to catch for a client. Oh yeah! Okay, we've got the fish right next to the shore. There we go. Yeah. There we go, it's a nice little fish. Up for the swell! Not ready yet. Dan moet trek vir daai dun staaltreis hier.
In die dun fucking island.
Ek check.
Wat dink jy dit?
Dan net die vir so 'n dakbal.
Dis 'n dakkie.
Nee, bring hom saam. Net as ek dan hou gaan so vas en neem hom af. Kyk dit op die skerm hier. Ja. Dan was hy backpack. Kom maar hier. The fun about Mozambique, just come to the beach, there'll always be somebody on somewhere. This nose, that's why they call them a duckbill. It's a very soft nose, so with that nose they can literally feel everything. They've actually got taste glands in the duckbill. They don't really have teeth, but they do have a small spine on the back of the tail. Awesome little fish. It's probably quickly got a tag.
Mag ek 'n foto neem van hom? Ja. Ek wil dit terug my
So that's the fun part of my job. You can go anywhere on the beach, and if it's in your blood, you always gotta go help a guy land a fish. The duck water ray was 125 centimeters. That's from the tip of his wing to the other tip. So that all calculates to about 25, 26 kilograms if you convert that to weight. From the scientific side, we don't really use scales to weigh any of our fish. Basically just to protect the fish, damage a fish by lifting them up and tearing them around and bend their vertebrae and stuff. So we just measure fish, and there's calculations that will tell you how much they weigh according to the length.
Yeah, mate. Here we go, here.
Now the whole fishing community in the last 5 or 6 years, everyone went on the good path of releasing the fish and the health of the fish, safety of the fish. So for us, it's extremely important. The guys always think, yeah, they did release the fish, but there's a difference between releasing a fish and the fish die 20 meters in the waves, or a shark grabs at anything. So it's a good thing with the scientists and all the research guys in South Africa and all the university on board. It's a very good thing with the guys. Everyone's got tapes in their boxes, measuring fish, releasing fish, safety of fish. Even telling the guys do not drag the fish on the dry sand because you take their slime off. All these little things matter. You guys will see how we treat our fish on most of our videos. You'll see us landing some big sharks. Most of the guys attack us. They say, oh, we do kill the big sharks, but we really don't tag every single one. If you fish on our tours, every single fish we catch will get tagged, measured and tagged for research, and we do have a very good recapture rate on those tags. That just proves to us that the fish isn't the bigger shark, that they mate, they really bite their skin, they break the skin when they mate. So for us, putting that fish on a rock for 5 or 6 minutes, really got no issue for them. We always try with a bigger fish. It's not always possible, but our main goal is to land a fish, get it out of the water, take photos, tag it, and put it back in the water within 3 minutes. So like I say, sometimes it's really not possible with the bigger waves, and you have to wait for the swells and that, but we always do try and keep it under 3 minutes. Okay, as I say, we do these tours to Angola. It's in the middle basically of Africa, just above Namibia. So we drive from Mossel Bay, which is a very long way. We drive the whole South Africa up, we cross border into Namibia, we cross the whole of Namibia, then we only enter into Angola. It's a long drive, to a 3-4 day drive if you drive permanently, but it's absolutely worth it. Where we're going, we camp on the beach. We're really quite far away from civilization there. There's an area that we call the Doodsakker. It's in Afrikaans. It's called the Acre of Death in English. It is literally the most dangerous 4x4 route in Africa. Every year the guys lose their cars there. We risk that because on the other side of the Doodsakker there's a place called the Kunene River. It's a very small little river. It's just a little bit bigger than this one we're at now, but the fishing is untouched there. The amount of cob and sharks and rays is unbelievable. I don't know of any place in the world that has as many quality and quantity fish of that area. The water is just perfect there. Those fish are extremely healthy. But of course, everywhere in the world, the Chinese guys, the local guys have figured it out, so everyone is driving there now. We're trying to protect the area. It is in a marine protected area, so the guys will keep an eye on it in the next few years. We're going to show you guys some videos of Angola where we drive the Doodsakker. We'll show you some videos of where we camp on the beach. We've got local campsites at the base camp. We've got a big base camp close to Namibe. It's a little town in Angola, a coastal town between Namib and Tombwa. We camp there. It's a place called the Flamingo Lodge. We stay there. We use that as a base camp. We set up big tents there for each guy. That's base camp, and they've got a second set of tents where we literally just throw in the back of the trailer and we move on. If the fishing's not good in one place, it's pointless staying there and just pulling up your shoulders and saying, no, the fish aren't biting. Our clients pay a lot of money to go there, so it's our responsibility to keep them on the fish. I've got 2 trailers, 2 campsites, a portable one and that one, so we move with the fish, which is extremely important on that coastline. The quality of fish there is so great that it will definitely be a trip of a lifetime for each of our guys there. Not only the amount of fish, but the size of the fish is probably the best in the world. Yeah, Angola is pretty exciting. That's probably one of my favorite places. Mozambique, we do Hell's Gate. That's an insane place. The current that's between that's the Angola Island and the mainland. There's a little channel there that all the water rushes through. The current they can go up to 60 kilometers an hour on spring tides, and those GTs, angry GTs, they hang in that current. They wait for the bait fish to just lose their attention, and then they get smashed up. We fish them with poppers and live bait and all sorts of things. That's a pretty exciting thing. The other one in Mozambique, we do the St. Lazarus Banks. That's when you go to fly off to Pemba. We get on a boat in Pemba. We go hundreds of kilometers out to sea to a reef. It's basically between Pemba, the northern side of Mozambique, and the Comores Islands. It's a little reef that comes up to 10 meters in the middle of the ocean, and it drops off literally to thousands of meters on the other side. So it's literally just a big reef where all these fish are basically undisturbed and untouched. That's strictly catch and release on our trips. We might keep 1 or 2 that's foul hooked just to eat, but it's no commercial. We're not allowed to tag fish there as it's international waters. The research guys don't really want to waste that kind of money on fish that you're not sure where they're going. The other awesome tours we do is the one in Mossel Bay. That is where that's in South Africa. It's the southern cape part of South Africa. We catch giant sharks there, big rays. That is, you'll see on our videos, we've got a little white house that we literally fish off the balcony of, which is pretty cool. So the guys, you literally 10 meters away from the first fishing rod while you're lying in your bed. Got some videos of the guys waking up 3 o'clock in the morning running to a rod. Screaming rod without pants on. That happened a few times. But yeah, like we say, we do a very specialized fishing tour business in Africa. So we started in this blog just to share our experiences with the world, because really super blessed to be able to do this. There's not really many guys that experience Africa like we do. We go to places that very few people know. I mean, in Angola there's literally parts where we drive with the car and get out of the car and you walk through the desert, and there has never been a footprint on that beach. We got areas in Angola we call the canyons, where we pick up shark teeth that is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years old, and those canyons are 10, 15, 20 kilometers away from shore, and it's high cliffs. It's probably 300-400 meter high cliffs. We'll show you guys some videos of that. We pick up these fossilized shells and shark teeth and all sorts of cool interesting things. They also got those Volvicia plants in Angola. The one at Flamingo Lodge is probably the oldest one that I know of myself, and they say that one's 3,500 years old for a plant. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what they say. I'll show you guys some pictures of that. It's the biggest Volvicia probably that I know of in Africa.
Long flight for this!